The Reddit frenzy fallout, meanwhile, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen meeting today with financial regulatory groups, including the FEC and the Federal Reserve. We got the Securities and Exchange Commission and the Fed to address stock spikes and market volatility from last week's Reddit takeover. The rally over popular stocks like GameStop and AMC fading this week as Robinhood faces more than 30 civil lawsuits related to trading restrictions imposed on individuals. There's one clear winner through all of this, Sunvest Management Hedge Fund, which made $700 million on GameStop. Joining me right now is the CEO of Applico and the CIO, Alex Moazed. Alex, it's great to have you this morning. Thanks very much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So tell me your thoughts on what took place last week and how this changes the tech world.
Well, Maria, in the words of my new governor, don't whiz on my leg and tell me it's raining. What Vlad said to Elon on Sunday night was that the regulators, the DTCC, initially said, you got to pay us $3 billion to cover the increased volatility. Then Robinhood limited trading and buying activity, and that number came down to, I guess, 700 million, and then went back up to around 1.3 billion. But you could limit margin trading and then limit a lot of your exposure, but still, no, they had to go further and limit all the buying activity to what? Protect these allegedly unsophisticated retail investors. It just doesn't make sense, and I don't think either Vlad or his lawyers are letting him tell the whole truth here.
Wow. So do you think this is more a story of capital and the need for capital? What was behind the decisions? And do you think this is going to result in some new regulations that these companies will face, Robinhood and other fintech companies?
Well, this regulator, which Vlad said he has no idea who controls the regulator, but if you go and look at their board of directors, it's all the big banks that sit on the board of the DTCC. They haven't come out publicly and issued any statements providing transparency into the letters that they sent, not just to Robinhood, but multiple other kind of retail brokerage trading sites. Not only do the regulators need to provide a lot more transparency on why they made these decisions to drastically increase capital requirements, but it's also the tech companies, Reddit and Discord, were limiting the activity and still are limiting the activity on these subforums for these retail investors.
What's your take on Amazon? Jeff Bezos announcing he'll step down as CEO, transitioning to executive chairman in the third quarter of 2021. Handing the reins over to current Amazon Web Services CEO Andy Jassy. Bezos wrote in an email to Amazon employees that he plans to focus on his energies and attention on new products and initiatives, Alex. But how much will Bezos' role at Amazon really change? What's your take on Jassy running things? I guess that this is really the guy who's been running the big business at Amazon, which is, of course, web services, including the cloud services. That's where the money is, right?
Yeah, so in Bezos' letter, he literally said the word invent or invention about 8 times. He's all about inventing new businesses. That's pretty much, day one, we need to invent. Jassy was Bezos' chief of staff 17 years ago, who put the bug in his ear to say, let's go do this completely different business model called AWS. They were doing about $4 billion in volume and on their marketplace for products. And so clearly he's putting the guy in charge who's all about spinning out new things, taking risks, and inventing.
That's good news. The company has been taking a lot of market share from some much bigger players when it comes to the cloud, right?
Yeah, and we just saw Google release finally disclosures on their Google Cloud business. What you're seeing, and you got to give Bezos credit, Amazon's a monopoly. They are a conglomerate of multiple platform businesses, AWS being one of them, and it has a winner-take-all dynamic. You're seeing there's really one or two winners, Amazon and Microsoft, and Google's a distant third here.
Really interesting. Alex, great to talk with you this morning. Thanks so much.
Thank you.